One can lessen the likelihood of having high blood pressure by consuming a diet that is abundant in nutrients, ensuring that their weight stays within a healthy range, engaging in regular physical exercise, consuming alcohol in moderation, and not smoking. These are all things that can be done. High blood pressure can be prevented or reduced by the use of several methods, and both of these choices are available to individuals. A diet that is rich in a considerable number of nutrients. In addition to consuming a significant quantity of fruits and vegetables, it is recommended that you cut back on the amount of salt that is contained in the food that you eat. It is recommended that a substantial amount of fruits and vegetables be consumed. In order to have a diet that is not only nutrient-dense but also well-balanced, the Eat Well Guide gives information on the various categories of food that are a part of our diet, as well as the optimal number of these foods that we should consume in order to achieve this. This is something that is done in order to maintain a diet that is not only nutrient-dense but also well-balanced. In addition, there is a correlation between the use of salt and an increase in blood pressure as a consequence. When you ingest a greater quantity of salt, you will feel an increase in the symptoms that are linked with your blood pressure. This is because salt will cause your blood pressure to rise. 1 teaspoonful is about equivalent to less than 6 grams, 0.2 ounces, of salt, which is the quantity that you should ingest on a daily basis. This is the amount that you should consume. The American Heart Association recommends that this particular value be met. It would be beneficial for you to examine the various methods by which you may lessen the amount of salt that you take in on a daily basis. Ingesting a diet that is low in fat and has a significant number of foods that are rich in fiber, such as whole grain rice, bread, and pasta, in addition to ingesting a great quantity of fruits and vegetables, is an additional strategy that can be utilized to reduce blood pressure. In addition to that, it is suggested that a sizable portion of this diet be consumed consistently. Make it a goal to consume 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. This should be your goal. You ought to make this your daily objective. By carrying out the appropriate steps, you will acquire the knowledge necessary to accomplish your goal of consuming 5 meals per day. You should try to reduce the amount of alcohol that you consume, as this is something that is encouraged. Continuously consuming an excessive amount of alcohol can, over the course of time, potentially cause an increase in your blood pressure. This is because alcohol raises blood pressure. This is due to the fact that alcohol causes hormones that raise blood pressure. If you want to limit the possibility of developing high blood pressure, the most effective method is to make sure that your blood pressure stays within the range that is advised for it on a consistent basis. It is recommended that you take the following actions in order to reduce the probability of acquiring high blood pressure over time. It is recommended that the use of alcohol be limited to no more than 14 units per week, and this guideline is applicable to both ladies and gentlemen. All individuals, regardless of gender, are able to benefit from these advice. If you consume more than 14 units of alcohol in total, it is strongly recommended that you spread out your consumption of alcohol over a period of at least 3 days. This will allow you to avoid the negative effects of alcohol use. You should make sure that you are aware with the different units of alcohol, and you should seek advice on how to minimize the amount of alcohol that you consume. Because of the huge number of calories that alcohol contains, drinking it will lead you to gain weight. Additionally, drinking alcohol may cause your blood pressure to rise even further, which will further contribute to your weight gain. Each and every one of these unfavorable effects can be traced back to alcohol consumption. Try to cut down on your weight as much as you can. Weight gain causes your heart to work harder to pump blood throughout your body, which can lead to an increase in your blood pressure. Being overweight can also cause your blood pressure to rise. A greater amount of effort will be required of your heart if you are overweight. If you are overweight and meet the requirements for being overweight, you will have a higher body mass index. The body mass index, BMI, healthy weight calculator allows you to decide whether or not you require therapies to aid you in reducing weight. This can be done by determining whether or not you are overweight. In the event that you come to the conclusion that it is necessary for you to lose some weight, it is essential to keep in mind that even a slight reduction in weight can have a major impact on both your blood pressure and your overall health. This is something that you should keep in mind. It is important that you pay attention to this particular aspect. Get started right away on learning how to lose weight in a way that is good for your health and get started right now. Make it a priority to engage in active pursuits. When it comes to assisting with the decrease of blood pressure, it might be good to engage in physical activity and exercise on a regular basis. The fact that it helps to maintain the health of your heart and blood vessels is the reason why it is advantageous. This is the reason why it is beneficial. Participating in regular physical activity will not only help you lose excess weight, but it will also help you lower your blood pressure. This is because physical activity helps reduce blood pressure. Due to the fact that this is the case, it is of the utmost importance to make sure that you engage in physical activity quite frequently. When it comes to adults, it is recommended that they participate in aerobic activity of a moderate intensity for a minimum of 150 minutes each week. This level of activity should be performed daily. 2 hours and 30 minutes is roughly equivalent to the amount of time that is spent engaged in physical activity through exercise. 2 examples of activities that fall under this category include cycling and walking at a rapid pace. It is also possible to include other activities in this group. A few examples of different types of physical exercise include gardening, walking, and even playing sports. All of these activities are instances of physical activity. You can also choose from a wide variety of different options that are available for purchase. Due to the fact that caffeine is detrimental to your health, you should cut back on the amount that you take. On a daily basis, if you drink more than 4 cups of coffee, there is a risk that your blood pressure will increase as a consequence of your coffee consumption. This is because coffee has been shown to raise blood pressure. Coffee and tea are 2 of the beverages that contain a significant quantity of caffeine. Other beverages, such as cola and certain energy drinks, also contain notable amounts of caffeine. In terms of caffeine content, coffee and tea are 2 of the liquids that feature the highest levels. Taking into consideration the likelihood that you might consider cutting back on the amount of caffeine that you consume on a daily basis. Although it is okay to take beverages like tea and coffee as part of a diet that is well balanced, it is crucial that you do not make these beverages your primary or exclusive source of fluid consumption. This is because these beverages contain a lot of calories and can cause water retention. One example of something that you should avoid doing is drinking beverages like coffee or tea. It is imperative that you quit smoking immediately. Smoking causes your blood vessels to become more constricted, which in turn leads your blood pressure to rise over time. Additionally, smoking promotes heart disease. One and the same physical phenomena is responsible for both of these effects simultaneously. If you consume this, it is possible that your blood pressure will increase, which is something that you are currently experiencing. If your arteries become blocked at any point in time, you run the risk of experiencing a heart attack or a cardiac arrest. This risk is always present. It does not matter what the circumstances are, this risk is always present. If you smoke and have high blood pressure, your arteries will narrow much more quickly than they would otherwise. This is because smoking causes them to constrict. Because of this, they get more constricted as a result of smoking. Because of this, the probability of you developing a heart or lung sickness in the future is greatly increased. This is because of the relationship between the two. Like, share, subscribe for more videos.